Netflix said, let me tell y'all something, okay? We don't care about you taking all your little Marvel comics away, your TV shows away from us, because we was already prepared for your pettiness. We got that new, that independent comic new. Netflix basically said, Marvel who? Everyone, is Sharronda from Pay Your Weights, and today I'm going to be reviewing The Umbrella Academy, which is Netflix's new series that debuted this past weekend, and it's based on the Dark Horse Comics Umbrella Academy, created by Gerard Way and also Gabriel Ba. And so for those of you who have read the comics, this is actually, or even if you haven't read the comics, which I would suggest watching the show first and reading the comics afterwards. This is how I did to try to have that element of surprise. This is actually based on the first two volumes, the Apocalypse Suite, the first volume, and the second volume, Dallas. Just so you guys know, and the more you know. So going into what the series is actually about. So the series centers around these seven brothers and sisters who kind of brought together from all over the place. Back in 1989, it was a regular day. People was getting their lives together, and then what happened? Out of nowhere, over 43 women, most who were not pregnant before, gave birth to a child. Now imagine just sitting there minding your own business and possibly living your best life, and you all of a sudden have your stomach grow and a baby pops out. Personally, that would be the way that I would like to go out. Who wants to be pregnant that whole time? Let me just be like, hey, Sharronda, here's your due date. Boom, baby out. That's how I would prefer to have it. But these kids were mainly born to like single mothers, and essentially this man goes around and he basically finds 7 of these kids who are all born on the same day. They all have these powers, and so he founds the Umbrella Academy, okay? And so he has 7 children who he calls by numbers, okay? They have names, but he calls them like number 1, who is basically has big strength. He's like a leader. He always wants to strive to be a hero, to be perfect. And of course, he's number 1, so he daddy favorite, okay? Then we have number 2, who basically just need to get his life together, but he's very good with knives. I was just like, imagine how good of a chef you would be. Instead of killing people with your knives, you could really use your talent for something good. Number 3 has the power to manipulate, to basically say like, I heard a rumor that this, and I'd be like, can I use your rumor to go ahead and tell Sally Mae I heard a rumor that Sharronda paid all her student loans? Because I would greatly appreciate that. But moving on, then we have number 4, who's basically has this like psychic, can see the dead, talk to the dead, all this stuff that number 4 still ain't figured out. Number 5 can time travel. Number 6 we don't get to learn that much about, but we do know from the comments that he has all these little tentacles. But number 6 dead, y'all. We don't know what the hell happened to number 6. And number 7 is like basically Vanya just ain't got nothing going on with her life. She got all these like little famous superpowered brothers and sisters, and she ain't got nothing. She just an ordinary person, y'all. And we're gonna pray for Vanya and pray that she finds peace and that she just finds joy and happiness. So that pretty much gives you the gist of who all the people are, what their powers are, just in case if you didn't know, now you know. And so essentially this TV series kind of starts off with the death of their father. So basically, all these people had daddy issues. And so this is probably one of the most intriguing things to watch throughout the course of the series. Like, not only like, what if you had superpowers, but what if like your parents just wasn't there all the way and caused you to have all these issues? And so all these children are brought back together as they are older and grown and adult, and they kind of get back together to say goodbye to their father. And then some craziness happens, and essentially they are tasked with the mission that they must follow throughout the course of the episode, of the series. And I really don't want to give that much away. That's why I'm really being vague about what's happening. I think I might actually do a spoiler review. Let me know in the comment section below if you want me to do it or not. I can go ahead and get it posted on Monday, tomorrow, when I get off of work, because everybody ain't got President's Day off, okay? I said I go to slave, okay? Thanks. So, essentially, we kind of get the backstories on all of these different characters. And that's what I really appreciate about the Umbrella Academy. Not only do you have this crazy premise of how all these people were born on these days and they were all brought together, they became this superhero family, but also too, you kind of get to learn about what led them to be the adult version of themselves that they are today, as that's who we're introduced to. And so we're kind of given a little bit of backstory into these characters. And I will have to say, for those who have read the comics, I really think that the TV series does a better job of diving deeper into these characters, because you really don't get that much from like a 20-30 page comic book. So I really appreciated them doing that. And so also too, I want to talk about some of my favorites, okay? So first, who was this bad little kid? Number 5, okay? So number 5 was played by Aiden Gallagher. I think he actually used to be on this little Disney series. So he's number 5. And so essentially, number 5 kind of went back into time, and then he was missing, and then he pops up, but he's still like a little kid, and all his brothers and sisters are basically grown up. They grown as hell. He young as hell. But on the inside, he old as hell. That will make more sense once you actually watch it. But I really thought that he did a very fantastic job of portraying this kid who basically has an older man kind of stuck into his body, and how he interacts with his brothers and sisters, and especially being the youngest one on set, having to interact with all of these different characters. I thought that he did a very great job of holding his own, and he was actually one of my favorites to watch, as well as Diego was he was my second favorite, okay? I like Diego. He is highly problematic. I am here for all his pettiness, all his messiness. You know, that's what I love. Those are traits that I love to see. And so Diego was great to watch, but one of the issues that I did have was a relationship that they gave Diego's character with this detective that he used to mess with. I actually think that she used to be on, I used to watch her on Revenge. That's right. She used to be on Revenge, y'all. So he has this, her name is Ashley Mecca. I'm not even going to try to say her last name, because I ain't going to mess it up. Her name is Ashley, and so she plays Detective Eudora, who has this kind of relationship, and I really wish they kind of explored what their relationship looked like kind of back when they first met, just to have us kind of understand what the connection that they had with one another, and to understand like kind of how she made him a better person, or how he gravitates towards her character. And so it almost feels as though, because her character comes in and just goes out so abruptly, it was almost to the point where you're kind of just like, did we really need her character? But I think it speaks to her, because I actually wanted to learn more about what Detective Eudora, you know, could do, and what her relationship with Diego was. And so I have to go into I can't go into that because I don't want to give any spoilers away, so we're gonna go ahead and bypass that. But my favorite little villains in this, okay, Hazel and Cha-Cha. Oh, I like to Cha-Cha, yeah. Sorry, y'all. It's late and I'm sleepy. I'm just being weird. Mary J. Blige, y'all, go ahead and give Mary J. Blige her own little action series. Put her in a little action movie, because she was doing the damn thing. She plays one of these assassins that basically comes from this company called The Commission. And so they're basically on this path to track down one of the 1 out of 7 kids. I ain't gonna spoil too much for you guys, but they are absolutely hilarious to watch. They're scary to watch. I like some of the moves that Mary J. Blige, I said, girl, you like, for someone who was singing about no more pain, you was giving a lot of people pain in this TV series, but I was here for every single moment of it. I thought that the interaction between Cha-Cha and Hazel, they were fun to watch. I know that some people might feel as though they kind of derail this story away from the 7 kids or adults, whatever you want to call them. But I thought that it was a necessary evil to kind of give you these villains who kind of are on pursuit, kind of messing up their plans like every step of the way. And then also to have them kind of have these backstories that are actually kind of really relatable to like the average working person. The things that they go through as somebody who's like super dedicated to their job, or the other person feel like, you know what, they ain't paying me enough coins to be doing what I'm doing. I don't like how I'm being treated. I was just like, you know what, I know that they're assassins, but they're pretty relatable. They speaking truth right here. They speaking of stuff that everybody else is going through, and I was totally here for it. But I have to say, whoever was behind the music for this like series, y'all did that. Y'all, that music, I ain't heard no music like that since like watching Black Lightning. That's probably the only other time where I felt like, ooh, whoever doing this music, they are a treasure, they are a gem. I mean, we had songs from Queen, we had songs from Heart, from Mary J. Blige was on there, Nina Simone. I was like bopping a little bit. I was like, okay, like I'm loving this action sequence, but I'm also loving this music that they chose for it, and it helps you to get even more excited about it. Now, overall, I felt as though, even though that this series has a lot going on, because you have 7 different characters that you kind of have to introduce, give a backstory, get the audience to buy into their characters so you can either root for them or not root for them throughout the course of this first season. But I thought that they did a very great job with giving everyone their shine, except for I think it's number 6. I still want to see what the hell happened to number 6, but in the comics it's kind of the same way. So I can't really fault them for kind of sticking to how the comics were. But I feel as though they did a very great job of giving everyone their shine, especially when you have so many talented actors and actresses in this series. I just thought this was so entertaining, so enjoyable to watch, from the action. And can we talk about the effects? Because I don't know what budget y'all was working with, but the ache that they have was kind of like, I think his name is, see, I didn't forgot that quick. I didn't read this. I forgot, y'all. And I'm sorry. Don't kill me, but my mind, Pogo. Yes, Pogo. They did an amazing job. I said, is that Andy Serkis? It wasn't Andy Serkis. It was Adam Godley. But they did so good that Pogo looked like he came off the War for the Planet of the Apes. I said, Pogo, did you know Caesar? Did you talk to Caesar? Did he tell you what to do? Because that's how good the effects were. So I don't know what budget you guys were working with, but if you didn't have a budget like that, you were pretty damn talented. And if you did have the coins, you're still talented anyway, because I was just like, Pogo is like really a part of the family. He's like a real person. He's not even a chimpanzee. So for those who care, are there differences between the comics and the actual TV series? There's slight differences. I could go, if you guys want me to do an extra video to kind of go into it, it's nothing too crazy. I think they generally follow the premise of like the gist of what the comics kind of go through in the first 2 volumes. But there are differences, nothing that I feel is detrimental. Like, as I said, I feel as though the TV series does a better job of going more in depth with the characters. And I think that's why series like this, even, because this reminds you of The Haunting of Hill House, because it kind of centers around this family, because they do the job of taking you on a journey with the characters, getting you emotionally invested in the characters to care what happens to them. Now, will I say some parts of the TV series was pretty predictable? I was like, yeah, that's gonna happen, that's gonna happen, but it didn't mess it up for me. It still made it enjoyable, and I like where the season ends off to kind of introduce you to like this whole other journey that they have to go through in season 2, but we don't know if it's gonna be kind of getting the green lit to go for a season 2. I really hope that it does, but for me, I think that the Umbrella Academy, it was great. I had so much fun watching it. I binged it like in 2 days because I'm a grandma. I can't stay up that late. I had a great time. I would definitely recommend it. If you guys are looking for something to watch, go ahead and start streaming it. Watch it at work. Watch it, I can't say on the way home from work because that's not safe, y'all, but watch it at work. Watch it when you come home, before you go to bed. It's going to be a good watch, y'all. So those are pretty much my thoughts. I'm going to go ahead and stop rambling. If you guys want to have me do a spoiler review, please let me know in the comment section below. As always, my name is Sharronda from Pay Your Weight, and if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit that notification bell, and I will see you soon.